Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. It's a Saturday morning. Eagles home game Sunday. Looking forward to that. Scotty McKay's in the house. Got a lot to talk about today, Scooter.
Well, I don't have a lot to talk about today.
We have a lot to talk about.
Well, no, I don't have a lot.
You don't have a lot to talk about?
I mean, to talk about like what's been going on or anything like that.
You don't have anything to say?
I got a little bit to say. I don't have, drove down here this
you're
morning.
on the radio. You're supposed to have a lot to say.
I got tons to say.
You got a lot to say, don't you?
I do. I just got nothing to say about what you've been doing lately, Just been hanging out, playing a little golf.
Scooter, what did you think about game? We always have a lot to talk about
of course
here
we do.
on the week,
I'm
especially
teasing
because
you.
we're only on Saturdays and Sundays, right? So
I'm only on Saturdays.
Right, but the whole week is building up. I'm sure you got there was a great week of sports.
It kind of stinks because it's so far. Like, the games are on Sundays or possibly Mondays or possibly Thursdays. But
Thursdays?
Then you got to wait until Saturday.
So you're
talk
not a big
about
college football player.
No, I'm not.
Football viewer.
I'm not a big college player
is
either.
Not good. The Phillies were
I've seen it.
We're
The Phillies,
going at it. Now, I even wrote on in my article that I write on 97.3 ESPN, we might talk a little baseball. And I even made a reference to the fading Phillies, but you
wrote ... maybe
because because you don't know what you're going to get, right? I mean, I'm so pumped up about the Eagles in the win last Sunday in Atlanta, and the fact that the Phillies have pissed me off.
You forgot about them.
I don't know.
I had to ask you last night. Are we going to talk a little Phils?
Well, we could. We'll do it. We're not going to do it right off the bat.
No, we won't do it off the bat. But But
they win last night.
But listen, aren't you used to this by now?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like such a roller coaster.
No, the best part was the Braves lost an extra inning. When Kevin Gausman, the pitcher, had to come up the bat because the Giants were out of hitters, and he hit the walk-off game winner for the Giants.
So, I mean, now with the Phillies are 2.5. Is it 2.5?
2.5.
Yeah,
2.5 out. And I'm thinking to myself, we're not even going to talk any Phillies today, but now we have to.
Well, we didn't say a word about the Phillies last week.
We didn't. Because I said put a fork in them. They're done.
All I can say is if I didn't drink already, they would drive me to drink.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
You should definitely drink already.
Yeah, well, that way I have to look at you. The more I drink. Yeah, they're just so frustrating to watch. I mean, you just want to see more consistency with them. That's all.
Of course. And then how about the NFL? I mean, the NFL really has put out a great product in the first week and one game. I mean, the Thursday game, the opening game Thursday night was unbelievable. All the games that I watched, including the Eagles on Sunday, was great. And then
did you see the Giants and Washington game?
Monday night's game was unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
The Raiders and the Ravens was unbelievable.
Especially having fans back, the NFL couldn't have asked for more,
right? And then the Washington Redskins and the Giants, which was like everybody's like, oh, this is going to be a clunker of a game. Was a great game to watch.
Yeah.
It was a good game to watch. And through all of it, I'm thinking to myself, put a fork in the Phillies. Now, thank God we got the NFL. We don't have to worry about Phillies baseball anymore because we got the NFL. And then lo and behold, these guys are hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
Right.
Literally. But they're hanging on enough to keep you interested.
Or to keep you tortured. I mean, that's what it is.
One half dozen the other.
Yeah, it's like they just, it's like winning something, but then you have to get beaten for it. You know what I mean?
Well, the inconsistency will drive you nuts, but the fact still remains that it has been a great week of sports. There is a lot to talk about. We got a great show lined up today. Every Saturday through the football season, we're going to be talking with Dave Sharapan from the sports book. He's a sports book consigliere.
Right.
Calls me last night. He says, "Hey, Bill, I'm going to be on the MLB network at 4:30 today." So I tune in, and there's Dave. He does Bettor's Eye on the MLB network. The Bettor's Eye. He had when I talked to him today. I'm going to tease him a little bit. He was all decked out in his Oakland Athletics gear.
Really?
Last night. So
maybe he was watching Moneyball.
But yeah, he might have been. But we're going to have a 6-pack of picks at 10:30. We'll talk with Reds. We'll go to Reds Jersey Mex for lunch at 10:50, and then we're gonna we got a great giveaway item today. Johnny DiMaria from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures is donating we're giving away an item. It's a Eagles polo shirt, which is really sharp, an Eagles hat, and a pennant. Okay, and to win this prize, you can check out go to my Twitter page at Locker Room 973. At Locker Room 973 is where you can look at the package, the prize package. But it's an Eagles hat, sharp, an Eagles polo shirt, and of course a pennant. And go there, check it out at Locker Room 973 or at 973 ESPN. Check it out. It's from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures, Johnny DiMaria. The Eagles prize package, they have the largest selection of teams' jerseys, clothing, hats. You'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, and 47 brand. Stop by one of the 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including Pro Image Sports in the Hamilton Mall. They have a large selection of team jerseys around, or you can shop online at fantreasures.com to see thousands of pro and college sports teams items available at your fingertips.
We should do a live remote at the Hamilton Mall, the Pro Image Sports.
I'd like to do that if we
could.
But that,
I know.
We have to find a sponsor for that.
Exactly.
Right? If they'd like to sponsor for that, we can do that. 609-403-0973 is the text board today. You're to win the prize. You're gonna have to make a prediction on the Eagles.
The score,
the winner, the score, and then the tiebreaker will be how many yards is Miles Sanders going to rush for?
No. Jalen Hurts throws for. Like that's what we decided.
Oh, is that what Jalen Hurts throws for?
Passing yards.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board to win the Eagles prize package, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. You're going to make a prediction. The Eagles score. Got to have the right winner, the right score, and then the
closest.
Yeah, the tiebreaker. Well, we could have a couple of people can hit it.
They could hit it.
So the tiebreaker will be how many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for?
Correct.
How many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for? 609-403-0973 is the text board. Get those coming in, and we'll read them off during the show. Now, Scooter, I want to talk about, obviously, we're on here Saturday, whole week's passed by, but I just want to real quick, before we get into what we think about what's going to happen with the Eagles and the 49ers, but I tell you what, I thought that the Eagles in the first half looked out of sync, and that's because they didn't really have that much preseason. They didn't have any work in the preseason together. There was 10 penalties in the first half, and they looked out of sync. But it only took them a half to get, I guess, better. They only committed 4 penalties in the second half for a total of 89 yards. But once they got to the second half, they really made some adjustments, and they shut down the Falcons.
Well, and that's why I picked them to lose 24-21 last week, because I had nothing to believe in. I had nothing to see the starters play in the preseason, nothing to go off of and say that, yes, this team looks like they've come together a little bit. They look like they've got their stuff together. And so I just said, with that being said, I wasn't going to pick up the wing, not knowing what Atlanta really had either.
Well,
but
you're
not seeing
the only one. Las Vegas had a minus, your standard minus 3 on the road, right? Yeah. 3.5 on the road.
Yeah. So listen, they came away with a great win, but I would have to honestly say I don't think Atlanta's going to win many games this year.
No, I think Atlanta's horrible. Probably, they looked. I wrote in my article they looked anemic. They looked horrible, but I'm sure it was a combination of the Eagles' defense. That defensive line was unbelievable.
But not until the second half. Yeah, second half.
Well, that's because they didn't have the preseason to work together.
That was my question to you. What do you think the difference was between the second half and the first half? Was it execution? Was it Gannon at the halftime he changed up something what they were doing, or what do you really think it was?
I think it was execution. I think that the team had to find itself. It took them the whole first half, and I think they made a couple minor adjustments, but they pretty much. They look like
a different defense.
They look like a different defense in the second half.
The third stringers in the first half, and it looked like the first stringers in the second half, honestly. And I don't know I forget what number 77's name was for Atlanta, but
Atlanta had 124 yards rushing in the game. Most of that came in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, they dominated the first half.
Second half, it was on
everything but the scoreboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were winning all the stats. If you didn't know the score and you saw the stats, Atlanta versus Eagles in the first half, you would have thought Atlanta was up 17-3. You know, so. But the Eagles defense held when they had to in the beginning, when they had two big drives in the first two drives, Atlanta, and they held them to 3 points each, which sometimes that can be a lift for the rest of the team.
Jalen Hurts completed 77.1% of his passes.
Yep.
That's amazing. Obviously he's not going to be able to do that. I mean, I'd hope he'd be able to do that.
That'd be nice, but I doubt it.
But 77.1% completion pass rating, that's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was 125 was his quarterback rating.
I think it was 126.
126 maybe.
126.4 was his quarterback rating.
Yeah.
So he played exceptionally well. He didn't make, but here's the key to this. Here's the key to the Eagles season. Here's the key to most teams winning. You don't turn the ball over. The Eagles didn't turn the ball over.
Neither did Atlanta either.
I mean, Jalen Hurts only got hit once. All right?
Yeah, no kidding.
He only got hit once.
Yep.
I mean, you don't turn the ball over. You keep your quarterback upright. Chances are you're going to win the game.
Especially with a guy like that can make plays when the good plays break down.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
he can get out. And
they'll be tough if they can do that.
We'll talk about that. It's a good point because when they play the 49ers, he's going to have to get away from Bosa.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that.
All right.
By the way, there's Adam Telefaro. He's on College Game Day. Maybe that's why he never got
probably why he get back to you.
Because he knew he's booked.
Yeah, exactly.
I was worried about nothing. All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board.
As usual.
To win the Eagles prize package, which is Eagles prize package courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. They have the largest selection of team jerseys, clothing, hats. You'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, and 47 brands. Stop by the 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including Pro Image Sports in the Hamilton Mall, for the largest selection of team jerseys around. Or shop online at fantreasures.com to see thousands of pro and college sports teams items available at your fingertips. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing in the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My winter watchdog. Hey, have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service? My winter watchdog? You know, those worrying thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on your house, hours of time on the road, caught in traffic jams. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. Back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, 97.3 ESPN. By the way, get down to Blitz's Markets on Sunday. The locker room Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home in a dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal.
Hey, you know what? They're the smartest people in the world at Blitz's.
Why?
Really, last year they did a contest that,
there was 30 points or more.
30 points or more, and the Eagles had 0. First game this year, they don't do that, and they have 32 points. They're smart.
Well, David Jones down there. Hey, listen, game day, if you're on your way to the game, by the way, I'm going to the game tomorrow. I'm pumped up, baby.
I'll bet.
I'm going to the game. I'm going to get my Blitz's hoagie.
Yeah, you and Pete Thompson gotta have a conversation about that because he was detailing some of that on the show yesterday.
So. Well, no, I'm gonna bolt at about 11:15.
Yeah, well, he was
well, he's not. He said he was fine with it.
No, he's fine with it. But I mean, let's just say that it wasn't described in the most beautiful light.
Really? Was he?
Wow.
He's a little tweaked.
No, but it's the idea that it's the locker room. One of the things it's the locker room with Billy Schweim, but Billy Schweim's leaving the show early.
I hardly ever take off, Josh.
I'm just saying.
I would have thought Pete would have loved the extra 45 minutes for him to talk.
Now, here's the thing. Where were all of your supposed friends who text you when people talk bad about you, quote unquote, on the shows? Where were they yesterday?
I don't know.
Nobody texted you.
No, nobody
See,
did.
they're full of garbage.
Right.
Who's got your back? I got your back.
Why are you guys ripping me yesterday?
Not the tool bags who text you claiming that Gil and I said something.
Were you guys ripping me yesterday, Josh? Were you guys ripping me?
Well, Pete was saying that it's a little. He had to convince you, Pete claimed, to stay doing your show a little longer. That's all.
Hey, that's not fair, Josh. What you just said.
What?
It's really not fair. You just mentioned Billy's friends in like the poor tool bag that they got called as his friends.
Go to Lowe's, Home Depot.
Because in my text messages, he was like, "Sure, buddy, no problem. Can you just call in?"
Well, listen, he was busting your chops, which is what Pete does. But I'm just saying that,
like you said, I thought Pete would love the extra time.
I thought Pete would love the extra.
Well, I'm just saying that I just want to know what happened to all the people who text, quote unquote, text you when Gil and Josh say something. Where were they yesterday?
I don't know. Nobody had my back yesterday. I'm shocked.
And honestly, this is a shout out to all of you anonymous folk who text Billy when supposedly I say something.
Yeah, all the time. I didn't get anything yesterday.
Okay,
wow.
Maybe they weren't listening to you guys yesterday.
Nobody texted.
Maybe they weren't listening to you guys yesterday.
Both your listeners don't know Billy.
I'm just saying. It's funny.
All three of Gil's listeners didn't hear him last night.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Come
Listen,
on,
I can't wait till after Billy leaves on tomorrow, and then Pete gets he starts his thing. He's going to say, "Welcome to the locker room without Billy Schweim."
Oh, he's going to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Guess what? I'm going to be listening as soon as I get my car, I'm going to have 97.3 on.
Of course you are.
Absolutely. Of course you are. You're going to have it all the way up to the game.
Because it is part of the pregame show, I think.
Is it?
I
wouldn't know.
All right, 609-403-0973 is the text board. You're texting in. We got an Eagles prize package. You can go on 97.3 or at Locker Room 973 on my Twitter page. You can check out the package. It's a nice Eagles polo shirt, a hat, and a pennant. At Locker Room 973. Check it out. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Shoot us your prediction, the score, who's going to win, and then, of course, how many yards will Jalen Hurts pass for will be the tiebreaker. 609-403-0973 is the text board. All right, a couple things that I wanted to point out about last week's win over Atlanta, the fact that this was a balanced attack. All right, they had 31 rushes and 32 passes. Something that Doug Peterson would get away from.
Well, yeah, and let's what's going to happen is we're going to run into a team that has a very good defense,
which is the 49ers,
right? And when the run's not working, they're going to go to the pass. So I don't listen. I get what you're saying because Doug Peterson seemed to just be pass happy.
Well, the run sets the pass up. It's not
well, it does, but if it's not working,
right,
then the pass is going to be more.
If you got a defensive line like Eric Armstead, D. Ford, Javon Kinlaw, Bosa. These 4 guys are unbelievable. They're going to pin their ears back.
Well, a couple of those guys didn't even play last week, so they're hoping to play this week. They're on the questionable list.
No,
Kinlaw and
Kinlaw played.
Did he?
Yeah, Kinlaw.
Well, it says he's on the questionable to play.
Kinlaw played for the Niners last week.
Kinlaw didn't play last week.
No, he
did not play.
No.
All right, but they still have.
He's questionable this week.
Right. He's questionable. They have one of the best defensive fours.
They've got great defense
in the league. They play
so it's going to be interesting to see what the pass to rush ratio is.
Well, they play a lot of zone cover, 3 deep, 3 deep in the zone.
Right. Well, the thing with the 49ers is really quick on the injuries. So Greenlaw is out for 6 to 8 weeks. So they got to change their entire linebacker setup because of that. He is a specific linebacker role in their defense. Without him, they have to change their entire defense around.
Right.
Kinlaw and Armstead are both listed as questionable. Whether they play or not, we'll find out. But if you're questionable and you haven't been able to practice much during the week, you're not 100%.
That's right.
And then don't forget, Jason Verrett, done for the year.
He's done for the year.
His knee is ripped up. And then Mosley, he's listed as doubtful.
Right.
So your 2 starting corners are expected to not play. So there's some banged up injuries on the 49er defense.
Right. So they're banged up. They stayed on the East Coast during the week. They played in Detroit last week. They didn't go back to San Francisco. They stayed, I think, in West Virginia. Yeah, something like that.
Greenbrier.
Marrying their cousins or something. I don't know what they were doing.
So, I mean, when you have a run-pass ratio that's 50-50 like that I think that's important. And to beat a team like the 49ers, there's 3 things that you can do when you face an aggressive team like that. Screen passes and misdirection.
Well,
because you're going to get those guys over pursuing. And Jalen Hurts, once he gets outside that pocket, he has the ability to extend the play with his athleticism.
Sure, he does. I think the greatest thing that I saw after last week's game was that they came away unscathed from any injuries, the Eagles, which is good. Maybe a few, bumps here and there, but really they came away with no injuries. For me, this was the first time to see Jalen Hurts as a football player. Right. The 4 games last year without an offensive line, without anybody playing, you really don't get a good picture of how this guy's going to be. This past week, he had one of the better, maybe top 5 offensive lines in the game, and now he looked like a different player.
He only got hit once.
He got hit once, which is good. But he threw 7 screen routes last week, completed, which was the most in the NFL.
Right.
He completed all 7 for 85 yards and had 1 touchdown out of it. So that's going to be a big part of their game, I think, part of their game plan.
Here's another thing that I was extremely impressed by. Miles Sanders picking up. It was 3rd and 9. And it was 3rd and 9. He picked up that blitz. On that one play. You remember that play?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, when you see players selling out like that, and even Zach Ertz, when he almost made that pick play, but he didn't pick the guy.
Right.
He just curated.
That was a professional move. Absolutely.
Perfect. But those little things, the professional athletes pay attention. When they start paying attention to detail like that, that's a reflection of the coaching staff.
Well,
and the fact that the players are buying into what he's selling.
So do you believe in Nick Sirianni?
I do now.
1 game, he's got him going to the
first
Coaches
game.
Hall of Fame.
Wait a minute, you're only as good as your last game. And the coaching staff had that team prepared. I was never. You guys from day one, I wasn't hammering Nick Sirianni. I just was a little questionable.
Well, sure you would. Why wouldn't you be? He's his first time head coach.
I mean, I love it. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Shoot us your prediction. Who's going to win? And then, of course, the tiebreaker. How many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for? 609-403-0973 to be eligible for the Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures Eagles prize package. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the mainline, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the mainline, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati of the mainline today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Dave Sharapan, the sports book consigliere. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Billy Schweim, 609-403-0973 is the text board to be eligible to win the Eagles prize package courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. 609-403-0973. The winner, the score, and how many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for? Let's go to the Barb's Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room our weekly segment with the sports book consigliere, Dave Sharapan. What's up, Dave? Go.
Drinking this early in the morning. You're always bringing it.
Hey, Scooter's got nothing to talk about, so I got to make up for him.
Yeah. I can't get any time in, Dave. You know,
God, it's hard.
It's
Believe
not
me,
easy.
I talk to him on the phone. It's mostly listening, and it's just him yelling and telling stories and screaming. I got to turn the volume down. I mean, we're gonna do this every week, but man, I literally got to change the settings. I'm on a billion shows all week. When I talk to Billy, you got to turn it down. You got to.
And speaking of a billion shows, Dave, I got to tell you, man, great job yesterday on the Bettor's Eye, the Major League MLB Network. You looked really good, decked out in your Philadelphia/Oakland Athletics gear.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, picked up some stuff. MLB's been great. They've been an awesome kind of person to work with, and Keith does a great job with that show. I love the old hats. I love the old jerseys.
I love that.
I'm an old guy, Billy, but it's a lot of fun.
But you really did a great job on MLB Network. I watched the entire show. I was going to break your stones and say, you got a face for the radio, but you're pretty aesthetically pleasing there on that show. I think they'll keep you around.
You got a fan that you're not sure you want, Dave.
Hey, listen. This is one for the old guys. We're trying to get back in real game shape and make things happen. So yeah, thanks, Billy. It's fun.
So I took the Phils last night. You said the Phils are going to beat the Mets, so I ran with it, and I took them and I won last night. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, it was a good day in baseball. But that Atlanta team total was my walk-off. They scored 2 in the first inning, didn't score again until 2 outs in the top of the ninth, and it a 3-run bomb to go over. So as good as your winners are, those losers, they hurt sometimes too. But yeah, that was a good day yesterday in baseball. Baseball's been great, Billy.
Yeah,
we're going to talk some football today, but baseball, this pennant race has been awesome. And listen, you guys in Philly, enjoy the team. Enjoy the fact that they're playing meaningful games in September, and I still think they're going to win that division.
Wow.
I still think they are right there. They're going to get in. They're going to get in. They're going to have a shot at the playoff. What they do when they get there in that bullpen, I can't help you. I don't know. We'll see when the lines come out.
Right now, I think 30 saves already, Dave.
Oh, it's been terrible. My goodness. That bullpen is the only thing holding the team back. If they fix that next year, it's going to be just amazing. I think they win close to 95 games. But right now, just win enough to get in. Just give us a shot to get in.
All right, Dave, it's football season. I have you for your expertise in football. Each week we got a 6-pack of picks. You're the sportsbook consigliere. You can follow you on Twitter at sportsbkconsig. Dave Sharapan. Dave, I got 3 games that I kind of like that I'm looking to do stuff with. So maybe you can point me in the right direction. The first game I'm looking at is a 12 o'clock start right after the locker room finishes up today. The Miami Hurricanes play and host to Michigan State at 12 noon.
Yeah, man, this thing's 6.5. Miami's favored. So there's been bets on both sides here. Right? But the public, everybody's taking this Michigan State team because Miami has disappointed. So I'm looking at this going, is this that public dog early that's going to not get there? I don't know. I think I saw this one on the list that you wanted to talk about, and I was frozen. I was like, what do we do here? I think we bet under. Believe it or not, Michigan State, Miami, the best play in the game is under. I think side-wise, you may have to lay the favorite, Billy. Take Miami.
All right. And then a game that I was always intriguing to watch. It's just a great rivalry. The replay. It's getting back to yesteryear, if you will. The Oklahoma Sooners playing the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Enormous.
This one looks a lot different. This one looks a lot different than it did when it was a good game, though, when we were younger, and it did have that appeal. This is one of those games. It's 22.5. You might find a 23 out there. 62 and a half total. Billy, I love underdogs, and I love to take the points, especially being in the books all these years and knowing that sometimes that's just the right side. It's not in this game. You cannot take Nebraska unless you're getting 24 points at least. They're not going to score that much. Oklahoma's going to write their own ticket. I think they run it up, lay the points.
All right, and then the third game, of course, the big one tonight, especially for people in this area, but also across the nation, Penn State playing at home, the whiteout tonight up there in Penn State. Auburn comes to town, and that's going to be a great viewing sport tonight. Great game to watch.
Yeah, so I've been up early because college game day starts at 6 a.m. here in the desert, and they're at Penn State. I went to Penn State. I'm a Penn State alumni. I love Penn State. The games, the whiteout games, incredible scenes. These people aren't on the field making tackles. They're not making plays. They're not scoring touchdowns. It's loud. It's hard. It's definitely a hard place to play. Another under that I already played. I played under 53. We saw the first number. When I like under, I favor the dog. Now, this game went up to 6.5, way too high. Just general thinking. Now it's down to 5. I think if this thing gets to 4, the play is on Penn State. But it's emotional to me, and I hate emotional bets. When you play these games, you can't make emotional bets, Billy. Oh, I want Penn State to win so bad today. I really, really do. If they lose this one, I'm going to be crushed. I think Penn State wins, but I'm worried about them covering. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. My first thought is Auburn plus the points. I can't believe I'm saying that.
It's all right. We want
to the show.
But you're being honest, David. That's what we respect. All right, Scooter,
Yeah.
You got the pros. There's some pro.
Yeah, I got a couple
numbers.
pro games I want you to look at. Of course, my picks are always like teams that I want them to lose. So we got Chargers, Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is – who doesn't want Dallas to lose?
Right.
We got people there that are Dallas fans. I mean, seriously, I don't get it. I still don't get it. Talked to Billy about that on that other show. This line was actually below 3, Scott, and went up to 3.5 during the week. And then the bad guys came in and took the Cowboys.
The bad guys.
Yeah, they came in with bad
dumb guys.
And they played Dallas. And I respect their plays most of the time, but they're wrong sometimes too. I want them to be wrong this week. I really, really do.
Don't be emotional, Dave.
But I think, you can't be emotional. And that's what I mean. If you get over 3 points, I think you got to play Dallas. But this thing is coming back down to 3 because no one wants to take any more of that Dallas action. I think Dallas is the right side. It pains me to say, but I really think Dallas has a good shot of winning this game.
Hey, David, you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, he's not going to play until November. He's got a broken foot. Randy Gregory's out with the protocol. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they've got who else is they got? Somebody else is out. Gregory. So they got some injuries.
Is Gregory out with handcuffs?
No.
No.
But he's out. So I mean, the Cowboys have, they got some holes.
They do. I'm just looking at it
playing on the road, Dave.
I believe me, I want them to lose. I do.
The other game I got is the Rams and Colts. What do you think about that?
Oh man, this one here. Now this is another 3.5 spread, but the favorite is on the road, the Rams. Last week, Seattle was at the Colts. The number opened up a little lower than 3, went up. Colts were the right side. I mean, the Seahawks were the right side. This number, same situation, NFC West team at Indianapolis. But we have a week of tape. And, I mean, let's be honest, I don't think Wentz is, going to be the answer there yet. He might be. This week, I like the Rams. I like the road team. I like Seattle last week. I think the Rams go in there and win, get the cover. That's hovering around 3.5. Don't hesitate to lay 3.5 in the NFL. It's not as big of a deal as it used to be. Rams.
And then, of course, our big game. I'll be in attendance. I'll be at the link. I'll be drinking at the Lincoln tomorrow, Dave, for the 49ers are coming to town to take on our Birds.
You should hear him after a few drinks, too.
This is a really tough game because I don't know what we learned about the Eagles last week more than we learned about the Falcons. Falcons are going to stink. They're going to be a bad football team, lose more games than they win, et cetera, et cetera. San Francisco had Detroit buried, covered, everything, and then let them back in and get that backdoor covered depending on the number you got. I really, again, I want to see the Eagles win. I want to see the Eagles win the division. I got a lot of friends I went to Penn State with. My brother lives in Philly. Can't stand the Eagles, but it's fun when your team wins in the hometown. Crowd gets into it. I think the link's going to be jacked up. Of course, it always is. But now that they're good or have the potential to be, it's going to be an even harder place to play. San Francisco stayed back east between games. At Detroit, stayed back east at Philly. That bodes well for West Coast teams that go east rather than flying back home, practicing at home all week, and going back. All of that being said, Billy, you better be loud like you are every day when I talk to you on the phone, when I talk to you here. This is going to require the full hometown effort. I actually think the Eagles are going to win the game. I really, really do. +3, we're good. Money line, sprinkle. Go get it. Eagles win the game. 2-0 to start the season in the division.
How about that?
First time since 16.
Outright. They win the game outright. I love it. Of course, tonight you can join me every Saturday night at All Campus on the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey in the Ramp booth. I'll be broadcasting live on A2D Radio, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch TV. Come join me on live TV and talk about your favorite sports topic. It's the Ramp booth with me, Billy Schweim, tonight from 6 to 9 on the Boardwalk, 1028 Boardwalk in Ocean City. And, of course, Dave Sharapan, the sports book consigliere, will be a weekly guest there as well.
Billy, did you read that or did you actually say that? That was pretty good. That was nice.
A little bit of both, Dave.
Mostly reading. I was wondering why he was doing an ad for himself while we're talking to you, Dave.
Dave is on,
until the very end.
Participant. Dave, as always, listen, buddy, we thank you. Maybe next week we'll get you to do our live. We can do a live stream with a StreamYard. We'll get you so we can see what you look like, and maybe you'll be sporting some Philly gear.
Well, I know where to get it, Bill.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Dave. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
We are Penn State.
I'll see you tonight.
More than 6.
All right. There he is, the sportsbook consigliere. Thanks, Dave. The sportsbook consigliere, Dave Sharapan on the Barnes Harley-Davidson Sports Hotline. Want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection, professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you at 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia, South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events that seems fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll go to lunch at Red's Jersey Mex or listen to the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. So he picked the Eagles, he picked the Cowboys, and he picked the Rams.
Mm-hmm. I strongly disagree with the Cowboys one.
I do too.
Because, well, I'm doing on information. Okay, and I think he's discounting something that I talked about on the air before, and that is there are groups of people who are always going to bet certain things.
Right.
Just because the bag man shows up to bet something doesn't mean he's betting.
Well, I think he goes by the line. The line moves according to how many people bet on a side.
Sure, but I mean, it also moves in different parts of the country.
But bad people come in at the last minute, don't they?
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come in early. They want to get the early line.
Right, that's true.
The Cowboys are without Lyle Collins. They're going to be without Lyle Collins backup. They're without Lawrence.
Right.
And don't forget that they have to go to the Chargers in that new stadium.
They're without Randy Gregory, too.
Yeah, Gregory does well. So, to me, I don't see a way the Cowboys win unless the Chargers completely just shoot themselves in the face.
Right. I think the Chargers win that game. They're playing out there.
Well, that part's not as significant as all the injuries. You also know Michael Gallup. So you're
did you see who was speaking of
that's a lot of people.
Who was Daniel Jones arguing with on the sideline? The receiver was giving him shit.
Galloway.
Galloway. Daniel
Jones is now 0-6 in primetime games. And the Giants have gone 0-5 to start the season for 5 straight years.
He threw for 519 yards.
Doesn't matter.
I know, 60. But
the only stat that matters is wins and losses, Bill.
Completion percentage was 63. It's not bad.
Your sports bets. This is Renee. Happy to be here. She's not some influencer. She's more of a groundbreaker, turning her 4-acre lot into a little slice of heaven behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor.
Hey, Dave was pretty good on TV yesterday,
Renee
man.
runs with us because the most important job is the next one.
That's all I
got. Nothing.
He only has 2 more weeks and he's done.
Series tractor
Oh.
is $99 per month.
Oh, Reds.
John Deere dealer today.
He started in April.
Please call toll free.
April 1st.
Can we try calling him again?
Say it one more time.
Easily moved.
I'll text him.
Just the saddest movie ever.
Whatever. Others, not so much.
Oh, look at the puppies.
It's just
Pat Carr, Billy, maybe your friend Dave that you had on from MLB Network can help you get your foot in the door. You should ask him to be on as a guest. You never know.
Who? Pat Carr?
Always pulling for you.
Was Dave the guest on the show?
He wants me to ask Dave to be hook him up.
No, but wasn't Dave the guest on the show?
Yeah, Dave on my show.
No, Dave was the guest on MLB Network.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Nature Valley Oats and Honey Crunchy Bar with more of the honey you love.
I'm back.
All right, he's not.
I haven't.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay, 97.3 ESPN. 609-403-0973 is the text board number. We're giving away an Eagles prize pack courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. They have the largest collection of new team jerseys, clothing, hats. You'll find the newest team styles from vendors like Nike, New Era, Mitchell & Ness, and 47 brands. Stop by one of the 13 Delaware Valley Mall locations, including Pro Image Sports in the Hamilton Mall, the largest selection of team jerseys around. Or shop online at fantreasures.com to see thousands of pro and college sports teams items available at your fingertips. Of course, we're broadcasting live on Twitter and Facebook today.
YouTube and Twitter
today. And you can see Scotty McKay, even though he doesn't have much to say. You can look at him.
Plenty to say.
609-403-0973. Go to my Twitter feed at Locker Room 973. You can check out a picture of the polo shirt. It's a really nice Eagles polo shirt in all sizes, Scotty McKay.
Yeah,
by the way, people need to put their size in this text as well. I neglected to say that.
Yes, you did.
I neglected to say that.
You'd have gotten a medium.
609-403-0973. You got to let us know what size shirt you need. That's very important.
You want to hear from the people?
609-403-0973 is the text board. Yes, let's hear some text messages.
All right. So Jason in Cape May Courthouse says Eagles win 31-20 and Hurts goes for 342 yards.
Wow, I love it.
Got to write it down.
Yeah.
Well, it's written down right in front of me. So
Okay.
But listen, guys, if you didn't put your shirt size, you got to put your shirt size.
I'm not worried about that. We can guess that after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get that after the fact.
Okay. 609-403-0973.
The fact that the first person followed the instructions right is a beautiful thing. Jason, you're a beautiful human being.
All right, so 609-403-0973 is the text board to win the Eagles prize package. It's a nice prize package.
Yeah,
it's a nice
absolutely.
shirt.
Be good.
So it's a polo shirt. It's green and black.
I'm waiting for Nick from Brigantine to come out.
Yeah,
he'll be jumping in there and giving us a good score. And
we got a few minutes here. We're gonna go to Red's Jersey Mex. Let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome in the proprietor himself from Red's Jersey Mex. Reds, what's up, Red Toner?
Hey, Schweiner, Scooter, Josh, getting ready. Another beautiful day in paradise here in Ocean City.
What are you on your surfboard?
Getting ready for the people. No, I'm pulling up to the shop right now. I've just been running errands, getting a couple extra things that we need for today, and we're ready to go at 11 o'clock.
All right, we got listen, Reds, we got about a minute left.
Time.
Tell us what's on the menu.
Yeah. We got the super burritos, which you can get with steak, chicken, pork, chorizo, whatever you want, with cheddar jack cheese, pico de gallo, lettuce, and sour cream and guacamole. You can throw some rice and beans in there to make it really super. We got the fish tacos, and selling tons of them still with the beer battered cod. We got your crunchy beef tacos stuffed with jalapeno.
Jalapeno
for you.
Sí,
and I'm going to start doing some soup and chili next week. After this weekend, we're going to put the soup back on, chicken corn chowder, chili con carne,
all right,
jalapeno cornbread, all that stuff that we do in the fall is coming back next week.
No soup for you.
Summer.
All right, Reds, we got to get running, buddy, but you're getting we're licking our chops.
RedsJerseyMex.com.
See you later, buddy.
609-2272. Bye.
See you,
all right, there. 609-399-2272 for Reds Jersey Mex. First hour is in the books. Hour 2, we're going to continue with our Eagles prize packet. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Eagles, and we'll get squeeze a little Phillies in on the other side, but we'll come back with some more Eagles 49ers talk. It's the Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Saturday edition right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay, Josh Henning, Saturday edition. College football Saturday, Eagles Sunday. And, of course, the Phillies taking on those stinking Mets. We'll get to some baseball at the bottom of the hour. 609-403-0973 is the text board. We're giving away an Eagles prize package today, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. 609-403-0973 is the text board. Send us your prediction, the score, who's going to win. All right? And then as a tiebreaker, we're going to put in how many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for in tomorrow's game. That'll be the tiebreaker.
And also give us your size.
And give us the size of your shirt. 609-403-0973. Josh, what do you have?
All right, so let's get some of these guys who are coming. We got the Jason in KB Courthouse, so we got him on the record. Also, Dan in EHT says Eagles 23, 49ers 20. He says Hurts is going to be good tomorrow, 270 passing yards, and he's going to have 60 rushing yards.
All right. I like it, Dan.
Dan is so confident. He says you could send my prize pack now if you like. Another text came in, didn't leave his name, but we do have his number, so if we need to get hold of him, we can. Says, you guys put too much emphasis on preseason. It's week 2, and we all know what preseason's for, position battles and filling out the roster. So I say the 49ers win 24-20, and Hurts goes for 233 passing yards. You asked if there'd be a 49ers person.
We were wondering if we were going to get any.
Are we going to get a 49ers? And we did.
Pick.
Another text comes in and says, if we lose on Sunday, will everybody come back down to earth and realize that this team is just a tiny bit better and not great? And the Falcons are horrible. They can go 0-17 this season. Now, here's the thing. First of all, this is the same person who's been texting all week. Okay. Doesn't leave his name. I've said this earlier in the week, and I'm just going to jump in real quick. I'm sorry to hijack your show, Bill, but you got to realize the Falcons have a former league MVP at quarterback. They have Kyle Pitts, who they're still figuring out how to put into the offense.
Right.
It's Arthur Smith's first game as a head coach. You're going to determine the entire team's season off of week 1 of the year. If the Falcons go 0-17, the odds of that are astronomically almost borderline impossible, because teams that go over are teams that usually are
Josh,
barely
with all
NFL
that being
teams.
said, there's something to be said for how bad they looked. I know it's,
but you can look bad for one game.
Yeah, but they looked atrocious. They looked anemic.
No,
on
the
offense.
Eagles looked really good. We got to stop acting like just because another team didn't play well that we don't. We got to stop not giving the Eagles credit.
Let me ask you guys both this question: Are you more encouraged by what you saw with the Eagles, or are you less encouraged because the Falcons weren't that good?
I'm encouraged because of the fact that this team was a garbage heap last year of turnovers and all kinds of injuries. Now they're healthy. Now they're not turning the ball over, just like you said an hour ago, Bill. So I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo the Eagles for doing their job. You're supposed to beat the team that's not as good as you.
And beat them convincingly like they did. If they would have squeaked by a horrible team, we'd have a lot more negative stuff to talk about. Also, they won in convincing fashion.
This isn't college
32-6.
This isn't college football where you could play some cupcake on your schedule. These are professional athletes.
That's right.
These are 500 of the best football players on planet Earth. There's no gimme games.
The Falcons
NFL.
played great for the first
half,
16, 17 minutes of the game. They really played tremendous.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Go to Twitter at Locker Room 973. Take a look at the Eagles prize package. You got to make sure you include your size of the shirt, the score, their prediction, who's going to win, and how many yards Jalen Hurts is going to throw for with your shirt size. Make sure you include your shirt size. 609-403-0973.
And your name would help.
Yeah, Will from Cape May Courthouse says Eagles win 21-13. But, Will, we need you to text back in because you didn't give us a tiebreaker for Hurts.
And you have to tell your tiebreakers how many yards will he throw for. 609-403-0973.
Bob chimes in and says 49ers 27, Eagles 17, and Hurts will have 225 passing yards.
Totally disagree with that one. Come on, Bob.
I told you there was going to be some 49ers.
Joseph chimes in and says Eagles win 24-20. Hurts will go for 283 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 47 rushing yards, and no interceptions. He gave you the whole stat line.
Oh, jeez. And a hangnail.
By the way, did you see Garoppolo's his winning percentage? He's like 23-5 or 23-8 as a starter.
Yeah, he had a very similar game to Jalen Hurts last week. If you look at their stats, I mean, their stats were almost identical, to tell you the truth. So he's not. Listen, they're not going to be a pushover by any means.
He threw for 314 yards. He completed. He completed what? 68% of his passes.
Yeah, he had a great game.
Yeah. Hurts was 77.1.
Yeah.
He had a better game.
Another message coming in says from Bill in EHT. Eagles win 31-23 over the 49ers. Hurts goes for 333 passing yards.
You heard Dave Sharapan, a sports book consigliere. He picked the Eagles to win the game outright.
Yep.
609-403-097. Go to my Twitter page at LockerRoom973. Check out the prize package from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasure. It's a nice prize package, man. Nice polo shirt. Make sure you include your size. What do you got, Josh?
I was going to say also, we retweeted at 973 ESPN. So you can go to either Billy's Twitter or our Twitter. Make sure you follow both. You see the picture. You see exactly what you're getting.
609-403-0973.
We got an interesting message from somebody over here on watching on the YouTube stream. I wanted to bring it up. Herman chimes in and says, the offensive game plan is tailored for Hurts. With Hurts, you have a triple RPO, but running back, quarterback option.
Right.
49ers defense has to decide how to shadow him or not, but doing so, they lose another player to stop the RPO, which I think is an excellent point. When you have that threat.
You have a spy on.
Well, if you have a spy, you're losing somebody else in coverage.
Yeah.
Correct.
I actually want them to spy him.
You got to make a decision. This gets back to the thing I was talking to you guys in the last hour about. I'm going to ask you real quick. If you're the 49ers, and now without Dre Greenlaw, you got to recalibrate all your linebacker assignments. Do you spy, or do you just go zone and hope for the best?
Well, they play cover 3 for the majority of their snaps last week.
Correct.
I watched not a lot of their film, enough to see what they were doing.
Right, and remember, it's a new defensive coordinator.
Right, first-year guy.
D'Amico Ryans.
That's right.
Former Eagle.
D'Amico Ryans.
Right.
I think they should. If I were them, I wouldn't spy Hurts. I'd play it straight away. You know what I mean? I think you lose, like you just said, they lose a guy when they spy.
Well, I think they're going to pick and choose when they use a spy. I mean, they're going to look at the plays and where they're at on the field and what position they're in, and they're going to say, all right, this is a play where he's going to give himself a good option to get out of the pocket. You know, if you got 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, that's going to be a good opportunity for Hurts to run the ball when.
By the way, another thing that I like one thing that I love about Jason Kelce. I illustrate how Miles Sanders picked up the blitz, but I like his hair, his blonde hair. Kelce, did you notice on 2 separate occasions his downfield blocking, where he blocked the initial blocker, his person picked up, and then shed that block, and then went on and picked up somebody else downfield?
Yeah. That's a timing
that
thing,
might
man.
be arguably his best skill set.
Yeah.
You got guys that make one block and they quit. I don't say quit, but they don't.
Well, they don't have gas.
They don't have that intestinal. They don't have the intestinal fortitude to go down and pick somebody else up.
They run out of the physical and mental steam.
Yes.
Yeah.
609-403-0973.
Got some more text coming in here.
Keep them coming.
Jeff from Summers Point chimes in. Eagles win 31-14. Hurts will throw for 253 yards and 3 touchdowns. Exclamation point.
I like that. Make sure you include your shirt size. 609-403.
Well, I'm not going to read their shirt sizes over there.
Well,
we'll keep that
I'm just saying. I'm just reminding people, because if you go to my Twitter feed at LockerRoom973 or at 973 ESPN, you can check out the prize package from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasure. It's nice, man. It's an Eagles polo shirt, a hat, and a nice pennant, a foam pennant.
Johnny DiMarito will never give away anything bad.
No, he never does.
All good.
By the way, a friend of the show, Johnny G, texting in.
Johnny G
says, are the Eagles Super Bowl bound? Maybe. They win over San Francisco? Yes. 34-27.
Attaboy, Johnny G.
For exactly 300 passing yards.
Is that Kenny's brother?
Kenny G?
Yeah.
That's Griner. My man Griner.
Rich in the Villas chimes in, says Eagles win 24-23.
24-23.
Wow.
Yes. And then Hurts passes for 236 yards.
Look, I think I'm telling you, Scooter, the Eagles are going to win this game tomorrow. The fans, look, I can't. That's why Pete's taking over the show for me. I'm not missing this game. It's the first full game back with fans. It's going to be electric. The fans are going to be pumped up. The Eagles are going to be pumped up. I think the 49ers coming in they're already banged up. I think we got the momentum. I think we win this game.
You know what's good is
I'm not afraid of Garoppolo.
Guys like Darius Slay are now going to feel the fans in Philadelphia. Last year he didn't have a chance to see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Guys like that who are top players who have played in different places, and obviously the Eagles fans have been voted one of the top craziest ones in the world. He's going to get a feel for that, and that's going to be a big thing for him and some of those other second-year players that are on this Eagles team right now.
609-403-0973 is the text board to win the Eagles prize package, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. You got to make your prediction, the winner, the score, and how many tiebreak will be how many yards Jalen Hurts throws for. Please include your shirt size.
I think the Eagles are going to be tested. The linebacking core is going to be tested this week pretty hard with Kittles. I mean, last year when they had a game, they played in Game 4 together. He had 15 receptions in Game 4 last year against the Eagles. That was the most since 1950, second most since 1950.
Is that right?
So,
he had 15 receptions last year.
Yeah,
15, 16 targets, I think it was.
Yeah, so he's a tough tight end, and the Eagles linebackers are going to have their hands full for sure.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Want to remind people tomorrow the Locker Room Blitzes Markets want you to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season. On game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the Locker Room. Got to go down there, tell Dave and Joan you heard it on the Locker Room. Get Blitzes all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue. Blitzes now has online ordering at blitzesmarket.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitzes is home to the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. Second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Get down there and say hello to Radio Ron Ralston for me. Hey, My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard about New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time that you hear a big storm coming, the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road? Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here with the Locker Room. Billy Schweim, Saturday edition on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
I just unmuted your mic. See?
No, you did that. But my
See where the button is.
Okay, so I.
All right, we're back here in the locker room. Saturday edition, getting you pumped up. We got Penn State and Auburn tonight. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Let's go to the phone lines. We got a caller, Trey from Wildwood. Trey, welcome into the locker room.
Hey, how you doing, Bill?
Hey, what's going on, Trey?
Not much. I had to call because I heard you giving all the reasons why you think the Eagles are going to win tomorrow, but, like, it is a professional football game, man. And the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, do you think the crowd's going to have some big factor on them?
Oh, I think the crowd definitely is going to juice up the home team. I mean, Trey, I've had several former players. Trey, I've had several former players and players call in and say that they get pumped up. It gives them an extra boost. I mean, the Vegas odds makers even give usually the home team 3 points just because they're playing at home.
Yeah, no, I get that, but Deebo Samuel just breaks one for 80 yards and a touchdown. What good is the crowd doing in 7-0? They'll be sitting on their hands.
Well, they're going to hit him with snowballs, probably.
No, but Trey,
yeah,
you don't. So you don't think
I'm just saying you have to look like. No, like the Eagles last week played Triton High School. This week they're going to play Cherokee Woodrow Wilson. It's a total different game.
I think
you got to look in the reality sense.
And no doubt that, I don't think anybody here is saying that because they're playing at home, they'll beat any team in the NFL.
Yeah, we're not saying
but
that.
We're just saying that I think, and my point was with Darius Slay, who's never played in front of the Eagles crowd yet, I think he's going to enjoy that, and he's going to get a little bit more pumped up because of it.
Yeah, when you play in front of your home crowd, there's emotion that comes in. It also can work against you. You guys, you can get so pumped up.
No.
That can work against you. But I don't think in this case, I think the Eagles are going to be pumped up.
You do have to remember, though, I think we need to pump the brakes a little. Like, the Eagles were a horrible team last year. And then really the changes, a couple linemen are back, they were injured. They weren't a good team. Like, you're playing one of the elite teams in the league, one of the better teams.
Well, they weren't a good team last year either.
People just need because the whole team was hurt.
Well, so were the Eagles.
Their whole team was hurt.
The Eagles offense, they had 14 offensive line combinations last year. They had a quarterback in Carson Wentz. Listen, hold on, Trey. They had a quarterback in Carson Wentz that would hold on to the ball too long. He was a turnover machine.
Now you have a quarterback that played 5 games. Now you got a quarterback that played 5 games. And
I got a quarterback that played week 1 that didn't turn the ball over and had a 77.1 completion rate.
Falcons.
That's true.
I don't care. You got to beat the teams you got to beat. You beat the teams you beat. Hey, look, they beat the Falcons, and they beat them convincingly. It's enough for me.
Trey, are you a 49ers fan?
No, not at all. I'm just like a realistic guy. Like I hear all week, like the Eagles.
I'm the same way. They're not going to the Super Bowl. We know that.
Well, we're not saying that. I just said, look,
you're a Group 1 team.
Trey, listen, Trey, hold on. The premise of your call was that you were disagreeing with me that I said I'm heading up to the game. I'm pumped up. The Eagles crowd's going to be electric. It's going to be, and I believe that. Will that be enough for them to win the game? No, but I think it'll help. It'll help with the overall dynamic of the atmosphere at the lake. It's going to be great. And if you want to poo-poo that's all right. But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be fired up.
There's nothing wrong with that. I totally agree with that point. But I'm saying in the reality terms, like, look who they're playing, man. Like, they're getting 4 points, 4 points at home, plus the 3 points. They're a touchdown underdog to this team.
Correct.
Like, everyone's making it seem like they're going to just come in here and they're going to smack the 49ers and, like, these people, like, the 49ers like an old school team is going to run the ball down your throat and smack you in the mouth and see what you're really about.
Trey,
not the Falcons, man.
Trey, really quick. The Eagles are a 3-point underdog at home. They're not a touchdown, first of all.
No, but he's talking about if you get 3 points for being at home.
You get 3 points for playing at home.
Right.
If they were playing at San Fran, they'd be getting 6-7 points.
Correct.
Well, maybe not, because San Francisco, do you not credit the fact they lost their best starting cornerback? They're probably going to be without their second best cornerback. They're going to have a rookie out there playing corner. They're going to be without one of their best linebackers, and 2 of their defensive linemen are coming in there injured. They're both questionable. They're not going to be 100%. Trey, I'm asking you a question. So you don't think any of those things matter tomorrow?
And with all that you just said, and with all them injuries, them guys who make the spread, that's much smarter than any of us debating back and forth. Still stay.
Yeah, but that's where. Listen, Trey, and I've talked about this on my show numerous times before, and we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks for the call.
The lines makers don't make literal lines. They make lines to entice you to bet. The whole purpose of the betting line is to manipulate the casual bettor into spending more money they want to. They're not setting the line because they literally think the 49ers are 3 points better than the Eagles. They're setting the line because they're trying to entice fans and people involved to bet a certain way.
We had Dave, the sports book, if he was listening to the whole program, he heard Dave take the Eagles today.
Which doesn't mean anything either.
But I'm just saying, but he's a bookmaker.
And odds makers that make these things, if they were right every time, it would be easy to win a ton of money.
Right.
Because you could just pick the team to win every single time. You know what I mean? But that's not the way it works.
Right.
So,
but I think more importantly than everything else, like what Josh just said, Scooter, that the 49ers have some serious injury problems in the early going.
And that's what's being taken in. There's a lot of people that are picking the Eagles to win tomorrow.
That's why they went 6-10 last year, because they had an exorbitant amount of injuries.
And listen, I'm not 100% positive the Eagles are going to win the game tomorrow. I got to really think about it a little bit more, because the 49ers are a decent team, and they are a team.
Like you said, nobody's saying they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Exactly. We're talking about game
some people jumping on the Super Bowl
of the NFL season.
That's right.
Okay, so let's relax with some of this.
By the way,
stuff.
Tom Jackson just checked in. What great advertiser, great
Tom Jackson's sons.
Yeah, call Tom Jackson and his sons for electrical. They're number one. All right. Tom says, not enough credit is given to the defensive coordinator who made adjustments after the first half, like you said.
Well, that's what my question to you was.
So
do you think
even the coaching staff had a great week last week? They looked so much more in tune to the game than the Doug Peterson era.
I think Nick Sirianni did a great job of mixing up his plays, and he called a few design runs. He didn't overdo it. He called a few design runs that worked very good. But he didn't call too many. He didn't put Hurts in a different situation. But, this is one of the first times that I've seen a coach who has said, well, we're holding back all of our stuff in the preseason. We're not going to show our hands. And I believe him now. I mean,
everybody does that in the preseason. Everybody goes vanilla. They don't show you anything. They don't show anything in a preseason.
I don't think that's true.
Chip Kelly did, that's for sure. He was like, I'm going to show you everything. I'll try to stop
Well, look at Andy Reid. He played his starters. I mean, I know Mike Gill was going back and forth with
Andy played his starters, but he still went vanilla offensively.
Right.
The plays or something.
I agree to that. They all do vanilla.
Yeah, but I thought I saw a lot different in his play schemes than I did what I would normally have seen.
By the way, here's another thing. This is another big stat. The completion percentage, he was 71.1. All right, he's efficient. Not putting him. The coaching staff is not putting him in a bad situation. Design plays that are high percentage plays.
But also, when you ask the people who watch the film, the film gurus, they explain that if you track his passes, all the passes he made, Hurts made one bad pass the entire game in week 1. And the incompletions, 2 of them were throwaways.
Right.
So,
the one bad pass he made was a completion.
Right.
It was the underthrown ball to the sail.
I mean of his. I'm being of his incompletions.
Yeah. Right.
Of his incompletions, he had one pass that's considered not ill-advised, basically. But 2 of his throwaways, people got to stop. We got to change the stat. Okay, we don't dock a baseball hitter if he gets walked on his batting average.
No.
We got to stop docking the completion percentage on throwaways because the quarterback is avoiding a turnover.
Right,
he's avoiding a sack to lose yards.
True.
Billy, you played the game. You know how important that is.
Right. Only Russell Wilson and Teddy Bridgewater had a higher completion percentage in the NFL last week. So, I'm not going to poo-poo. I'm excited, man. Trey can call and say, but guess what? I believe with my heart that a fired-up Lincoln Financial Field is better than an empty financial field.
Well, I think Trey's being, cautious in his
that's
feelings,
fine,
which is fine, absolutely, because they did play a lousy. Now, if they had beat a great team last week and 32-6, I think Trey would have had a different opinion about it.
Right,
but
he
they
went
beat a pretty lousy.
Played a Group 1
they
school,
look like a pretty
made an
lousy
analogy,
team.
Played a Group 1 school, a Group 4 school like Cherokee or something. I mean, that doesn't, because in the NFL, that, like Josh said earlier, and it's the truth.
Well,
NFL, these are the 500 best players in the world.
These are why we watch the games.
You have to
you're
play,
excited to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
And on any given Sunday, Scooter, any NFL team can beat any team.
Absolutely.
If the ball bounces the right way, penalties, injuries.
You never know what's going to happen. That's why they play the games. Simple as that.
All right, the second hour of the Locker Room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour, 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. For more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. By the way, we're going to have our Locker Room open on the 30th of October. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll give you more details. Pete Thompson thinks he can beat me in golf, so we're going to go at it head-to-head. All right, friends, let me tell you about Maserati, the main line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati, the main line, also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not at the point of a sale, as Maserati, the main line, offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati, the main line today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more Eagles talk. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, Scotty McKay, 97.3 ESPN. We got a giveaway, Eagles prize package giveaway. Send us a text, 609-403-0973. Who's going to win the game, the score, and then the tiebreaker will be how many yards will Jalen Hurts throw for. Make sure you include your shirt size. Go to my Twitter page, @LockerRoom973. to take a look at the gift pack, the prize package, the polo shirt, Eagles polo shirt, a hat, and a pennant. Scooter, what do you got?
Yeah. So just to get back to what Trey was saying, he forgot to mention that the Lions won 5 games last year. They're 1 game more than the Falcons and the Eagles.
Right.
So they weren't good. And listen, the 49ers were only 6-10 too. So they weren't a great team that has made a big transition either. But that being said, I think it's going to be a good game, and that's what we're all looking for.
The Detroit Lions put 33 points on them.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
the Niners defense.
Exactly. It was the same Super Bowl score against the Eagles.
So you're right. The
49ers aren't studs
you can't make that analogy that he made, Group 1 to Group 4, not in the NFL.
Yeah.
That doesn't
So
apply.
let me ask you a couple things. Last week, Quez Watkins comes out, and he gets the first 3 plays of the game.
Yeah.
And never touches the ball again.
So what?
Why is that?
Because they spread the ball around.
Yeah, but still, never to touch the ball again the rest of the game. And let me ask you this, too. Did you hear Ryan Kerrigan's name mentioned much?
No.
He played 47% of the plays.
Did he really?
34 plays. I don't even remember him.
Well, you know what? Sometimes guys like that take up, I don't want to say, maybe double team, but just don't show up on the stat sheet, but they do a great job.
Yeah, but I don't even remember hearing Kerrigan with the tackle or this and that. It was just kind of weird. Like, I thought to myself, maybe he didn't play much, and I looked at the stats, and I'm like, 47, almost half the game he played. Right. It's crazy.
Wow.
So, he could be an impact on this team.
See, that didn't hit my radar either.
Well, your radar's a little screwy.
609-403-0973 is the text board. If you want to call us, you can do that. 609-573-3776 is the phone number. Josh, you got some more people chiming in on the text board.
Bill, I have a plethora of texts
to
get to. Plethora.
Wow.
That's for all of you kids who need to learn some English from high school. Bill in Ocean City chimes in and says, Eagles 27, 49ers 24, Hurts 215 passing yards.
All right. I like it.
Gary in Mays Landing says 49ers will win 27-20. Hurts will throw for 240 passing yards.
I like how the people are keeping it conservative with his passing yards for the most part.
Yeah,
somebody said 333. Well, someone said 333.
And look, they got their secondary. They lost Verrett, right?
Yeah.
Jason Verrett's out with a
and Greenlaw, their linebacker's out. So
Verrett's done for the year.
609-403-0973 is the text board to win the Eagles prize package, courtesy of Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. You want to send us a text with your prediction and your score and how many yards Hurts will throw for. That'll be the tiebreaker.
There's still a plethora more.
Yeah, we got at least
keep going, baby.
We got more, man. We got more to get to. Gordon from Cape May Courthouse says 49ers win 26-20 in overtime, and Hurts throws for 289 passing yards.
Wow.
That's first overtime prediction.
See, I like people to think a little bit,
This person didn't follow the rules, but I'll read it anyway. Just read it. The text I'm reading right now is not entered into the contest because they didn't follow the rules. But the text, we'd like to get everybody's feedback. They said back-to-back road games for the Niners on the East Coast time zone is giving me hope for the Eagles. I think they win large.
Problem is they stayed on the East Coast, though. So that shouldn't be an effect.
Well, it's a factor because you're away from your comforts.
Yeah, sometimes guys want to be away from home.
Well, that's a personal problem. I mean, that's not the normal. If you got problems at home, that's not football.
Okay? By the way, so we went through the Carson Wentz drama last year. He gets moved on to Indianapolis.
And it doesn't stop.
What doesn't stop?
The drama.
Well, I mean, I think you look at just after game 1, it looks like the Eagles did the right thing.
Yeah, Carson Wentz was still holding the ball 3, 4, 5 seconds.
25 of 38 for 251 yards. He was sacked 3 times. He got whacked on that one play. It wasn't
2 of those 3 sacks were literally his fault.
And his head bounced off the one.
Yeah,
pretty
he
good.
Took a shot.
Yeah, and that was his fault.
Stays healthy.
He holds on to the ball too long.
He had a receiver in the flat, and instead of throwing him the ball, he got himself blasted.
Right?
Does he learn from his mistakes? No. because he's a stubborn egomaniac.
He will, because Aaron Donald's going to be coming after him this week.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, like, if you look at the whole totality of what has happened, what has transpired, I mean, look at Hurts, 77.1. He looked great last week.
Yeah.
Albeit against the weak Atlanta Falcons team.
Nevertheless, a healthy offensive line.
You got to beat the team in front of you. Go ahead, Josh.
Joey D. and Ventnor chimes in, says, Eagles win 29-21. Hurts will have 100 combined rushing yards with Sanders and a rushing touchdown along with 290 passing yards.
Jeez.
By the way, at the end of the last week's line on Sanders was 15 carries for 74 yards. He had a 4.9 average.
Yeah.
Now, Skeeter, you don't like those stats. Last year we had a problem with you. Remember, he was saying that those, stats don't matter. They can pile them up.
They do matter,
but those
when you look at it.
Those stats were accurate. I actually thought he had more. When I saw the stat line, I thought he would have almost like close to.
Well, you kept saying he was the best running back in the league because he was averaging 6.6 yards per carry, and he had 2 rushes one for 82 yards and one.
But he still had to break those rushes.
I know, but the rest of the rushes were averaging 2.2 yards.
Doesn't matter.
Was he a great running back last year?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. Absolutely not.
He had a great. He did. Scooter.
No, he was not that good.
If somebody's rushing the ball 15, 18 times a game, and he breaks 2 long rushes that puts him over 100 yards and gives him a bigger yards per carry average. It's
not a team stat. It's not a team. It's not a consistent team stat. He wasn't a consistent runner last year.
He was good.
Those 2 big runs gave him a lot of yardage.
That's because he was good enough to make those runs.
Yeah, but two plays don't make a season.
Well, guess what? I'm good enough to read these texts at 609-403-0973. Drew from EHT chimes in, says 49ers win 27-24, which would be a push on the spread.
Right,
Hurts passes for 289 yards and 2 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Yeah, like it.
All right, by the way, one other thing I want to mention before we read more. A couple decisions that Sirianni made on 4th down. He was 0 for 2 with his 4th down tries.
Right.
What do you think of that? I mean, he was 4th and 4 at the Falcons 36. That was an easy.
That's 4 down territory right there.
He's going to kick the field goal. You mean you're going to have to take all the points against San Francisco?
Maybe there was something wrong with the kicker.
This is where nothing's wrong with the kicker.
Elliott struggled.
He's fine. He had a great
he has struggled.
That's the dumbest things, man.
Really? Yes. I say the dumbest thing.
That is dumb. He had a great preseason. He looked pretty good in the picks that he made.
Maybe Sirianni knew something about him that he wasn't feeling good or something.
I think Sirianni just wanted to go for it.
It's his analytics.
Yeah.
He wanted to go for it. It didn't work out.
Nothing to do with the kicker.
You don't know that.
I know it for a
You
fact.
don't know that.
Well, for you to
you have no access.
It's asinine.
No, it's not.
Now, Billy has a great point because a lot of coaches explained. I give Billy credit when he gets something right. I will always do that. Billy's right. The coaches like Sirianni have explained that when they go for it on 4th down or 2-point conversion, it's literally because they have an analytics guy telling them the numbers say if you go for it here, if you go for it here or there, you're going to win it.
Who knows if Nick Sirianni's going by that? We don't know that.
Sirianni said that he does.
Sirianni said analytics chart gave him the green light to pass up on a 54 field goal try. It had nothing to do with the field goal kicker.
Well, you just said he should have taken the points. So is he wrong?
No, but I would have the 4th and 2 at the 20. You got to take that field goal. You're not going to, Josh.
But if he's going to believe analytics all the time,
successful against the 49ers, they can't leave 6 points on the field. Simple as that.
No,
they can't leave points off. They have to score.
Maybe it was just he had confidence in his offensive line to get that.
No, it was analytics.
Analytics don't prove anything.
Sirianni said
aren't correct all the time.
Here's a direct quote,
but the coaches today.
Perfect example. Analytics were wrong both times.
That's right.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you.
So how great are they?
Nothing to do with the offensive line or the kicker. It says
you never know.
Sirianni said the analytics chart gave him the green light to pass up on a 54 and a 20 and a 34-yard field goal.
This is where there's a blurred line between football IQ and letting numbers dictate.
Same thing with baseball.
Because this week we had Ryan Paganetti on 97.3 ESPN. People don't know Ryan Paganetti was the guy in Doug Peterson's ear telling him when to go and not to go based on the analytics. And he was explaining this week, and I've heard him on multiple platforms explain this. He explained that what coaches do during the week, part of the game plan, is they say, all right, in this situation, I need you to tell me what the percentage is that we will make it in these situations.
Yeah, and I don't like it, Josh. I don't like it.
I know you don't like it, but I'm explaining why this is important that you brought this up, Bill, because you brought it up, and you're 100% right. This is what coaches do. The coaches are making decisions in these situations not purely based on football. They're making it based on projections. And Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, insists that his organization be analytically wise. So this part of the reason why Sirianni and Doug Peterson have jobs in Philadelphia is because they listen to analytics. Whether you or me or any of us like it or not, we're stuck with it.
And how about this? This is another little thing that you could put in your pipe and smoke.
One more thing
is the fact that after this game, the 49ers have the Seahawks or the Packers and Seahawks at home. Two divisional, or not divisional, but two big games coming up. And they, these guys are human beings. They can overlook the Eagles, right? When they looked at their schedule at the beginning of the season, I guarantee all the 49ers fans,
I can't wait to go home, right?
Yeah, they're probably saying after two games, Detroit and Philadelphia, the two cakewalk will be 2-0 going home.
Yeah. Listen, anybody that believes in analytics is foolish. You're not. Why do we need a head coach? Why do we need a head coach? We'll just look at the analytics and we'll just do that play.
That's what the owner wants.
Well, then the owner's going to get what he wants. Then the owner's running the football team.
That's who he is. All right. Remember, the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season on game day. Get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Go in there, say, I heard it on the locker room. Get a $5 Italian hoagie all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or call them at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Want to remind people the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. To become a member, get more information, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Duddick. But were you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, let's get a little Phillies talking here. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. All right, we're back here in the locker room. Josh, you got a couple more text messages to read off?
Yeah, but first we got to get the Eagles breaking
we got some
news
breaking
here.
news.
So you guys were mentioning during the break that the Eagles restructured Fletcher Cox's contract. Well, now they've given the money they restructured from Fletcher's contract to Josh Sweat, a 3-year contract extension worth up to $43 million, 26 guaranteed over 3 years.
I like it. Josh Sweat was had a great game last week. I thought he played well. All right, let's get our predictions in, Scotty McKay. Since you won't be here in the studio tomorrow, I got to get your prediction
for the. All right,
drum roll, please.
I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win 27-21.
Eagles 27, 49ers 21. All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So you believe they win the game outright.
They win the game outright. But I have concerns.
Josh, since I won't see you tomorrow.
I gave my pick on the air yesterday. The Eagles win. I have them winning 28-24.
And I'm going to give you my pick, even though I'll do it again tomorrow. I'll give my pick. I think the Eagles win this game 26-21. Eagles win 26-21. Jalen Hurts throws for 2 touchdown passes, and he has another efficient game. I think Sirianni has his team believing in themselves. I think the enthusiasm, Trey's not going to like this, the caller earlier, but I think it's going to be electric. That's why I'm not missing this game. That's why I'm having Pete Thompson going to take over the second half of the locker room tomorrow. But I'm not missing the
without
game.
Billy Schweim?
I'm not missing the game.
That's going to be
I'm not missing it, Scooter. I want to be there.
Right.
Really quick. So we got to get these other texts in, okay? Brandon chimes in with his prediction. Eagles 35-24, Hurts 309 passing yards.
Wow.
Joe from Delaware chimes in. Eagles 27, 49ers 21, Hurts 270 passing yards.
Same score.
Nice.
Like it.
Joe confused me a little bit because he put his address in
I hope
there
everybody's putting their shirt size in there. Go to my Twitter feed at Locker Room 973 or at 973 ESPN. You can see what the prize package looked like from Pro Image Sports and Fan Treasures. It's an Eagles polo shirt. It's really nice. Eagles polo shirt, a hat, and a pennant, a foam pennant. So go to 973 ESPN or at Locker Room 973 ESPN. And
let's try to squeeze some more in
All
here because we've been neglecting some of these people here. Jeff from Millville chimes in and says, I think the Eagles defense forces the 49ers to settle for a few field goals. I'm going to say Eagles 22, 49ers 16, and Hurts is going to have 256 passing yards.
Nice.
Gregory chimes in, says Eagles win 24-20, Hurts with 278 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Don from Cape May says Eagles win 32-3 in a blowout. Hurts will throw for 320 passing yards.
Wow, blowout.
Wow.
You hear that, Scooter?
I think he's already blown out.
I'm telling you, man.
They're
I'm
not
feeling
gonna
it.
hold the 49ers at 3 points.
I don't think that's going to happen either.
No.
I think we'll keep doing this for the beginning of the show tomorrow. The first hour, we'll keep the phone line, the text board open. 609-403-0973. Check out the Twitter feed.
I got to squeeze this one more.
Right.
This one's hilarious. Patrick from Ocean City says Eagles win 27-23. Hurts passes for 235 yards, runs for 48. Smith and the Eagles tight ends have big games. It goes down the line. I love listening to Billy's show. Billy has got to do a great job every week. And by the way, I'm very confident this game, so mail my shirt now.
All right. A lot of fun today. We had a lot of text messages. I love it. Hopefully we can walk away with a W. We'll be back tomorrow for the Locker Room with Billy Schweim and Pete Thompson. Scott Grayson's our guest, and, of course, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. That's all tomorrow on our Eagles pregame show. Thanks for making the Locker Room part of your Saturday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Stay tuned for Sports Bash Saturday, and Josh Henning coming up next.